here in Group B. It is Mexico getting set to take on Colombia. The fans pouring into the Centro Deportes Colectivos here in beautiful Santiago, Chile. One of the nicest days we've had here in Santiago, Chile. Not a cloud in the sky, a little chilly, no pun intended. Carlin Gay alongside Kelsey Wright Johnson. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Here is the schedule for the rest of the evening here in Santiago. Up first, Group B action, Colombia taking on Mexico. And a little later on this evening, Team USA taking on Puerto Rico. The standings to get you up to date. Team USA 2-0 so far, undefeated. Mexico played their first game yesterday. They got their first victory yesterday. Looking to make it 2-0 to stay and keep pace with Team USA before they battle later on this week. Well, Kelsey, we'll get an opportunity to be introduced to these two teams who we've now had the pleasure of seeing play at least one game. And we'll have the opportunity to meet Mexico first. First game for them out of the gate. They were able to defeat the host nation, Chile, and they did it in pretty impressive fashion.
Yeah, decisive win over Chile yesterday, and a couple bright spots. You see one of them here. Anissa Jeffries, along with Gabriela Jaques and Mariana Valenzuela. They combined for 59 of the team's 76 points. A really impressive outing from the three of them.
The big three, as you've dubbed them, here in Santiago, looking to power this Mexican offense and moving forward. It's a very young squad, is Mexico. Just an average age of 24 years old. But they are here competing at the senior national team level and hoping they can move to 2-0. The last time they were at an AmeriCup, they finished 6th. They've made 6 of the last 8 AmeriCups, 2 in a row.
Yeah, and you're talking about powering that offense. 76 points out of them this tournament. Really impressive, 16 rebounds per game, and I mean, kind of a whopping 85% from the free throw line.
One of the most efficient teams from the charity stripe so far in the tournament. All right, here is Colombia. As they walk onto the court here, it'll be their 3rd game here in Santiago. The first game, they lost a narrow defeat to Puerto Rico by 3 points, and then they got blown out by Team USA. But they can scratch that game, put that in the back burner, and look to try and get a victory here tonight.
You saw Manuela Rios there. I like her, along with Jennifer Munoz, averaging just over 25 points per game, both here in Santiago. It's going to be a game where they're going to need someone else to step up. So we'll see who is able to step up big for Colombia here today. There's a lot of players that have that ability. I like Paz. I like Mendez. There's a whole lot of girls, and it's going to be, you know, who can match their big three with a big three of Colombia's own.
Colombia and Mexico moments away from clashing here in Santiago, but first, we'll hear the national anthems of these two great nations. national anthem, such a great tradition here at the international level, as both teams exchange pleasantries before this one. Colombia and Mexico moments away from tip-off. First, we'll meet three officials, a third team on the floor tonight, who will be in charge of keeping this game in check. Fernandez, Shea, and Krirapovic, easy for me to say, from Canada, Argentina, and Argentina. All right, let's meet the starting five for Team Mexico. That'll be the same starting five that started in game number one, and Gabriela Jaquez stole the show last night.
Yeah, she was so impressive, so young, first time here with the senior team, and she made quite the splash. Really crafty finishes inside, shot it well from outside. It didn't seem like there was anything she couldn't do in that first game.
Head coach Des Beta for Team Mexico getting an opportunity to now coach this national team after Lindsey Harding took the Lakers job as an assistant and allowed her to elevate to the top job. For Colombia, the starting five for them, it'll be Juliani Paz, Manuela Rios, Mabel Martinez, the captain, Jennifer Munoz, and Daniela Gonzalez.
Manuela Rios has been the spark plug of this team. Now you look at 12.5 points per game, 2.5 assists, but even what doesn't show up on the box score is she's just the energizer bunny of this Colombian team.
She is indeed. Luis Cuenca, the head coach, relying on Rios so far to power the offense, and an offense that has played two top defensive teams here in the tournament thus far in Puerto Rico and Team USA. And it doesn't get any easier because Mexico defended incredibly well in their first game against Chile.
It's going to be interesting to see how Colombia's offense, or how Colombia's defense, excuse me, goes up against Mexico's offense again. Mexico averaging 76 points, of course, here in the tournament, but also averaging more rebounds, more assists, higher percentages. So I'm interested to see the test of Colombia, but how their offense can kind of try and overpower what Mexico has going on their end.
Primera ofensiva, vamos en un básico. Julie de este lado, Julie, Daniela, entramos la pelota. Pantalla y Sergio rápido hacia adentro y buscamos ahí.
Opportunity to eavesdrop in the Colombian huddle before this one gets going here in Santiago, Chile. And an opportunity for Colombia to finally get a win here in Santiago. Meanwhile, Mexico looking to stay perfect. It looks really good in their opening game. Trying to bottle that up and carry it to this contest here before they close out group stage against Puerto Rico and Team USA, two top teams here in Group B.
Colombia had such a heartbreaker in their first game, only losing by 3, and then of course you know that blowout by the USA, but they didn't let that deter them from their next game, and so heads are up again. It's a fresh start here today, and I think this is a team that, or this is a game that they're really going to want after dropping the first two.
Mexico in the red uniforms, Colombia in the yellow. Ball up, off we go here in Santiago, Chile, the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2025. Colombia basketball ball going from left to right on your screen. Carlin Gay alongside sharpshooting Kelsey Wright-Johnson. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Munoz at the nail, or shot off the mark. And Ramirez will dribble back the other way. There's Gabriela Jaquez. Was terrific in game number 1 for Team Mexico. Gonzalez comes up with a strip. Munoz pushes the other way. Munoz, the captain of this unit, averaging 14 points per game. And she's going to take her first look from 3 and drills it.
I like the first 2 possessions. They're going to one of the leaders on this team in Munoz. First one doesn't fall, doesn't stop her confidence. This time she goes for the 3, and it's good. Just kind of opening it up now for Colombia.
Hawkins on the ball now, has a mismatch with Gonzalez on her. Trying to navigate in the paint, 5 to shoot. Ramirez with the floater. Can't get it to fall. Gonzalez with the rebound, and Rios on the push. We'll say that a lot tonight as Rios right to the rim. Thought she got fouled. Play on. Rios still down on the other end of the floor, slow to get up. Meanwhile, Mexico attacking the rim, and Hawkins gets fouled, and she'll go to the line.
You know, Colombia watched the tape of Mexico's first game and saw how crafty Hawkins can be, how she can finish down low. As we take another look at Rios on the other end, I think she might have just bumped her knee, but she's back. She's back in action now, but yeah, take a look at this. I think she might have landed on her knee there as she holds it. Hawkeye's at the line. Colombia really has to pack the paint with her because she can finish on the left, on the right. She did a spinning reverse finish down the middle. It's been one of the highlights of the tournament so far. You'll probably see it at halftime again here, but so tricky because when you pack the paint, she can also hit the deep 3.
She's averaging 22 points here in Chile and shot the ball well from 3-point range, as Kelsey mentioned, 38% thus far. Good pass inside from Maybelle Martinez to Paz, who puts it in.
Yeah, Paz is going to be open this entire game. Footwork really good. So good at keeping her defender on her back, and you saw just there, able to get to the key, and she's got the size advantage against Lara.
Ramirez will try for 3. Indeed. Angel Ramirez.
The purple haze, as her Instagram is.
She's shooting the ball well from 3-point range here in Chile. Coming into this one, 50% from 3. And it's already hazy for the Colombian defense. Munoz down the lane, throws it up at the rim, but couldn't get it to go. Rios will push ahead. Gonzalez on the baseline, good try. Went halfway down and then popped out. And Manuela Rios says, slow this thing down. Rios is going to get called for the carry there.
Yeah, one thing I want to see is I want to see Paz really make contact with Rios's defender. It's going to allow a little bit of a mismatch, put the defense one step kind of behind to be late for that rotation because no contact there. And Mexico was able to kind of just stay there, and Rios had nowhere to go off the screen.
Yeah, you almost got to punish her early and often, tire her out at some point in the game. To the corner, Ramirez again. Can't get it to fall. Rios able to track it down and weaving through traffic to go back the other way. Munoz, top of the key. Paz, deep post position, going to work. Left hand scoop shot, not there. And here is Ramos, quickly up the floor. Ramirez sees a crack. Hawkins waits for the Ramos screen. Doesn't get the switch, so she gives it off to Ramos, and Ramos says clear out. Ramos going to work on Maybelle Martinez. Good try, but couldn't finish it. And Maybelle Martinez, one of the oldest players here in the tournament, 38 years old, the captain, co-captain, I should say, of this Colombian squad. Hasn't really been able to find her touch here in Chile. It's just a game she comes alive. Paz down low. It's the bunny.
They're going to keep feeding her. Like I said, she's got the size advantage. The footwork is so impressive, but got to be able to make a few early on. I think once she does, she'll see that, and the basket will go nice and big for her.
Lara inside. She left it short. Rios all the way to the 10. Count it in the foul.
You're going to see a lot of that from Manuela Rios today. Going coast to coast, she is so fast and so quick, always looking to push this pace for Colombia. And that's what their offense thrives off of, just catching defenses off guard. And she's so good at getting around her defender in that final step to get up and under.
Manuela Rios averaging 12.5 points here in Chile. 2.5 assists. The assist number may be low, but it's not for a lack of effort from her. It's just teammates haven't been able to find the range and make shots to convert on those assist opportunities for her. 3-point play, catched out on by Rios. giving her team a 4-point advantage here early in the first quarter. Mexico going to the bench. Martinez, number 7 in red, on the floor now. Jaquez step back. Couldn't find her balance, so she had to give it up, and then runs into trees and falls down and coughs it up. Munoz back the other way. This side, Moscarella, she'll tee up the 3 and knock it down.
Talk about some of the young talent that Colombia has in their system. The core of this team has been together for a really, really long time. This is a new addition for them, 17-year-old, and you can see why she was added to this core team. So good.
It's our first senior national team event here in Chile. As Ramirez takes the mid-range jump shot, it's not there. Vente vacuums it in. Halfway through the first period. Colombia with an 11-4 advantage. How about Gonzalez for 3?
She didn't even think about it. She got the ball, caught it in rhythm, looked at the rim, saw no one in front of her, and lets it fly.
Largest lead of the game now for Colombia. Jaquez trying to respond with the 3 of her own. It's partially blocked. Moscarella on the run. And Colombia flexing their muscles here in Chile. A great start for Colombia. And it leads to a timeout.
Colombia looks so poised in this one. Like I said, dropped the first 2. This is one that they can see the vision, they can see the end line, and it's one that they really want. And they've caught Mexico on their heels.
They sure have. Let's listen into the Mexican huddle, see how they respond.
Right there, too many mental lapses, which tells me we gave into fatigue. We said if your rim, get all the way to rim, okay? We cannot try and pick up the ball at half court. We've got to sprint back and transition. Offensively, I don't want as many set plays. I want action. Make them defend. 4 or 5 chin. That's it. Ready? Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Coach Abeda, of course, with coaching experience at UC Davis and now at Santa Clara. And you see the rim run here for Moscarella that capped off an 11-0 run to start this game for Colombia.
Carlin, what I liked there was it wasn't a lot of X's and O's. She didn't have her clipboard out drawing plays. In fact, she said, let's not rely on those set plays right now. It's effort right now. She wants her team running faster, getting out and running on the offense, getting back on defense. It was all about effort and heart that she wants to see from her team for the rest of this first quarter.
Marina Valenzuela, who's on the rock right now, 6 in red for Mexico, had 24 points in game number 1. And she gets tapped on the shoulder to re-enter this game, come off the bench. Heel in the lane. Good defense that time by Gonzalez to keep her feet, and then Vente comes away with the steal. Rios using her speed, penetrating. Gonzalez on the perimeter, trying to weave through traffic. Bodies crashing together, play on. Munoz will tee up the 3. That's off, and Venezuela vacuums in a rebound. That pass ahead for Martinez did a good job of keeping it in. Venezuela now looking to settle things down here for Mexico. Comes this side, heel, Euro step. Got it off the window, didn't touch the rim. Shot clock still winding down. It's at 4 seconds now. It'll stay here, Mexico possession. Gabriela Jaquez took the shortest break you'll ever see as she comes back in the game for Gonzalez.
Yeah, they need her in the game right now. A player whose scoring just comes so naturally. And Mexico, with only 4 points right now, needs one of their offensive threats to be able to kind of get things going. That's one of the offensive threats right there in Valenzuela. 24 points yesterday, 6 rebounds to go along with it. I was happy to see her come in, and hopefully she can spark something for Mexico alongside Jaquez.
Yeah, she's part of that big 3 that you dubbed them here in Chile. The missing piece of the big 3 that's still on the bench, Anissa Jeffries. She had a terrific game as well in the win against Chile with 13 points and 7 boards in just 18 minutes. So they still have another option to turn it up. Vente, meanwhile, down the lane, missed the layup, but that was a gorgeous pass by Rios to find her. Meanwhile, it is Jaques the other way. And Martinez stepped out of bounds. Everything that could have gone wrong for Mexico so far has gone wrong.
Just mental errors, and you heard in the timeout, the coach is saying no more of these little mental errors, and that's the kind of thing that she's exactly talking about.
Rios turns the corner off the Vente screen. Lopez. Munoz with 10 to shoot. She calls Vente up, uses the pick. Munoz from the mid-range, can't get it to fall, somehow ends up back with the basketball and a fresh 14 for Colombia. Moscarella puts it on the deck. Nice pass inside to Vente.
That's a really good sequence from Colombia. The offense almost looks stagnant, but it lulls the Mexican defense to sleep, and then they get caught sleeping and an easy bucket.
Valenzuela going inside, can't get it to go, it's going the other way. And that will bring Anissa Jeffries into the game for Mexico.
Yeah, Anissa Jeffries, really excited to see these three back out on the court in Jeffries, Jaques, and Valenzuela, because they are an absolute offensive spark for this team who desperately needs to get going in this first quarter.
Gil and Ramirez round out the 5 for Mexico. Moscarella deep post position, banging with Jaques. Moscarella with the hook shot, can't get it to drop, and Jaques plucks it out the sky. Jaques bulldozing her way to the rim. She was fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
We saw this a lot yesterday. Her will to score will get her there every time, and because she's so crafty, her footwork is so good. The defense takes one thing away, and she moves the other way. That one spins into the defenders, but just so strong with it, able to come up and catch the 17-year-old Moscarella down low for her first foul.
She looked over at our crew chief, the official Juan Fernandez from Argentina, and said, "Thank you, ref," as she got back up. So first shot from the line is good. You have a PhD in the art of sarcasm, so what was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna think she thinks she got fouled a couple times before that. It's one of those, finally. PhD in sarcasm is crazy.
Her first 2 of the night, and it finally puts an end to a 13-0 run for Colombia. Lopez for 3.
What a response from Colombia. Mexico thinks they knocked the lid off the hoop. Colombia comes right back down and answers in a big way.
4 3-pointers in this first period for Colombia. Gil working on the defense is Lopez. Valenzuela for 3. In and out. Jeffries banging inside. She touched it last. It's going the other way.
That's the look you want, though, for Mexico. You get the ball in the hands of the players you know can spark this offense for you. It's a good shot, feet set. That one just rims out.
It's Lopez using the pass screen. Moscarella had it slapped out of her hands. 11 on the shot clock for Colombia to work with. Gallo sits in the game right now for Mexico, 44 in red. There's your on screen. Pesky defender for Mexico.
Can also pass the ball really well. Finished with 2 assists, but again, we talk about these assist numbers. Could be more if more shots are made, obviously, but yeah, I like this addition. She's a really good addition to these 3 being out here who are scorers.
Mexico with numbers. It's Jaques in the lane. Her floater does not fall. 3 defenders in front of her, puts it up again. Gallo's touched it last. It's going the other way.
Just nothing quite going right for Mexico here. Jaques, you can see over 3 defenders, and it's just knocked out of bounds the other way. It just seems like the ball is just not falling for them, anything they're trying to do in this first quarter.
Lopez on the push. Munoz, that's not going to count on the offensive foul.
Yeah, the moving screen there. You can blame the person setting the screen. You can blame Munoz for moving a little bit too quick. But yeah, she definitely didn't set her feet there, which is kind of unfortunate for Munoz. It's a nice shot. She made it.
She made it. Colombia seems to be making everything right now. the big lead, shooting 80% from three-point range so far in this game. Just less than a second differential between shot and game clock, so this might be the final possession of the first quarter. Jeffries trying to change that with her defense. Oz hands it off to Lopez. Lopez top of the key jump shot. It's short. Rebound inside. Moscarella's going back to the line, and she forced one up and got hammered. Here's the replay of that.
Moscarella already 5 points in today's matchup. And we talk about youth. In her last youth tournament, representing Colombia, averaged over a double-double. And you can see why she's an addition to this really experienced core. Early on today, already 5 points, has a chance to make it 7 here at the line. And I mean, still 3 frames to go.
Yeah, that youth tournament you speak of was a U18 America's Championship back in 2024. 19 points, 10 rebounds. This past season, she played pro ball in Italy. Not a bad place to be. And by the way, 17 years old. Sky's the limit for her. Under 4 seconds to play here in the quarter. Ramirez has a look. Good if it goes. It's the front of the rim. And Mexico will be happy to see the end of that first period and put it behind them. Colombia will want to bottle up this energy and carry it into the second. 22-6 after the first 10 minutes of play here in Chile. First quarter stats, excuse me, on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's a tough quarter for Mexico. 0 field goals made. Took 10 of them and just could not get any of them to drop. And like you said, it just seemed like everything was falling Colombia's way. Mexico couldn't catch a break.
So some of the best plays from the first period. You'll see Mexico victim to Colombia's hot shooting. 80% from three-point range is Colombia. And Mexico struggling from the field thus far. There's their one made field goal, the rest of them coming from the foul line. And Colombia, with this hot start, is exactly what they needed after losing to Puerto Rico by 3 points and then losing to Team USA just yesterday in blowout fashion. This is a way to kind of cleanse the palate a little bit if you're Colombia.
And look, the blowout obviously is not fun while it's happening, but you learn a lot from it. You can learn a lot from a team like USA, from a team who is so strong and so talented and so deep. And although the score wasn't a positive for them, they can take positives from it. And look how they come out today. You can tell they learned, you know, even about themselves. They came out with intensity, and a lot of it is on the defensive end right now, and that's where you're going to win games. Colombia's defense is great.
Scan the QR code to get the courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. Start of the second quarter will be Mexico basketball. And they would love to start better than they started the first. Gaielos on the floor with Ramirez, Rios, Jeffries, and Valenzuela. So Ramirez on the rock. Valenzuela at the nail. Watched by Paz. Valenzuela doing a lot of dribbling on this possession, finally giving it up. Jeffries sees a driving lane, takes it. It was rejected by Moscarella, but a late whistle there. As a 17-year-old Moscarella can't believe the whistle, but that will send Jeffries to the line.
I really like these two matchups. It's the two matchups of two bigs, completely different playing styles. You have Paz and Venezuela, who are traditional back-to-the-basket bigs. And then, well, Moscarella is going to take a seat on the bench right now, but her going up against Anissa Jeffries, two bigs who are so crafty and kind of are more like small forwards, but both move like guards and can pull it out to the three as well. That's going to be a fun kind of double big down low to watch throughout the game.
Anissa Jeffries, 21 years old, an up-and-comer here for the national team. She started at the 2024 FIBA Central Basket for Mexico and averaged 10 points and a team-high 9 rebounds in that tournament. Here she is at the AmeriCup on a grand stage, coming off the bench and trying to make an impact.
And part of the big three.
Part of the big three, big piece of that big three. Ramos, this is Jeffries, the jab, spinning, good footwork in the lane.
She's so dangerous, and if no one is going to get in front of her, she will find a way to get around the smaller defenders, and she did just that.
Rios finds Paz on the handoff, and Paz touched every part of the rim that time before it fell.
It's a dangerous two-man game between those two. They're going to connect a lot throughout this evening.
Ramirez, speaking of two-man game, Valenzuela drills the three.
I called her a back-to-the-basket big, and she said, all right, let me step out and remind you I can take the threes.
Second three-pointer of the night for Mexico. First for Valenzuela. Mexico in his zone. Lopez skips. Mabel Martinez for three. Indeed. Had a struggle against Team USA. Good to see that one fall for her.
I mean, that's how you break a zone. They give you open threes, and Martinez just did just that. The perfect opportunity for her as they get back on D.
Great movement without the basketball that time by Martinez to find that open space as well. That shot by Ramirez does not fall, and Rios will cross the timeline. Directing traffic, wants the pass screen, gets one, gets to the nail, and drops the shot.
I know the ball was only in the hands of Rios, but that's still a two-man game. The perfect leading screen by Paz right at the foul line.
Valenzuela finds deep post position for Jeffries, the foul before the shot. Mabel Martinez saying she was the one being held. Let's see if we can see here on the replay. Not sure she has much of an argument after seeing that. Could have been something before it. And the referees normally see the second action. As Kelsey nods her head yes, having memories of getting called for those types of fouls. Jeffries with the footwork gets it back, trying to finish an and one, and right now the lid is definitely on the rim for Mexico. She'll have to earn them at the line. It's the fourth offensive rebound for Mexico in this game so far, as Anissa Jeffries cashes in on the first free throw attempt.
You look, in Mexico right now, like you said, field goal percentage, that just 7% from the two, and so you're going to have to rely on these free throws. Missed her first two in the game, cashes in on the second two, and hey, you got to take what you can get right now, but those are free throws, so you got to make those ones count as you claw your way back into it.
Leone Paz on the block. Sweeping through the lane, can't get it to drop. Offensive rebound, put back in by Valentina Lopez. Valenzuela thought about it. Now she takes it in a deeper position, can't get it to drop. And a rebound there by Delgado. Mabel Martinez, good stroke. And puts her fingers to her lips saying silence, and she drills a three and talks herself on the way back to the bench. Puts her team up big, 34-13, timeout Mexico. 6:39 remaining here in the first half. Colombia rolling in Santiago.
Do we not want to play basketball today? Because we look a little bit disinterested with our defense, and that's shocking to me. That's not how we usually play. We have to be intense for 40 minutes. We're at the AmeriCup. That's what's required to win. You have to be intense for 40 minutes.
need to translate much of that. That was plain English for you and I to listen into, and everyone at home as well. It's all about effort right now for Mexico. They're being outplayed.
Yeah, look, it's the second timeout that Team Mexico has had to take that had no X's and O's. It's all about effort for this team right now. And you could tell the coach was so passionate. Do you not want to play today? And, you know, that's kind of what it is. Know your personnel. You got to know Martinez is a shooter. You can't give her 2 open looks. Because look what she's been able to do with a little bit of space. And I think that goes for almost every single one of these Colombian players. They're having the open looks, and they're getting the ones that they want. Mexican defense has to step up.
Well, they'll start on offense here with this possession after the timeout. Hawkins back on the floor for Mexico, as is Ramos. Valenzuela on the handoff, back to Ramos. Gallo turns the corner, sees 2 defenders, spins back the other way, can't get it to go. Ramos is open for 3. Indeed, the offensive rebound paying off that time.
And look, that's what coach asked for. She said, crash those O boards. And that's the opportunity that you get with yourself. When you give yourself a second chance, good things happen.
Now it's this end of the floor that Coach Abeda wants some focus on. Maybell Martinez has come alive here in this game.
Know your personnel. I know the coaching staff of Mexico not happy with that one. Colombia still on their feet celebrating Martinez, 3 in a row.
Venezuela on the lay, can't get it to fall. They got to find Martinez, don't they? No one stops the basketball. Rios blows the layup.
They always say the best offense is keep going until somebody stops you, and no one stopped Rios.
Ramirez, she steps in, takes a 2 instead, and drills it.
Smart play. Keep adding brick by brick. Claw your way back into this one. A point is a point. No need to make it fancy behind the 3.
Since that last time out, Mexico's offense has looked better, but the defense has been the problem so far. They need to organize themselves on this end of the floor, Kelsey. Halfway through the second quarter. Maybell Martinez feeling herself. Nice pass inside to Lopez. It's Martinez's world, and we're living in it.
And hey, that's what happens when you're red hot. So much of the defense has to shift over to you. You have so many eyes on you. It's going to open up your teammates, and she's able to find them down low.
Ramirez. Nice bounce pass, Valenzuela. This is good ball movement for Mexico. Rios' 3 not there. Excuse me, that was Ramos' 3. This is Rios with the basketball. Rios turns the corner. Able to find some space, can't get it to fall. Vente with the offensive rebound. Delgado has it, and Rios says, find me, please. 5 to shoot. Head of steam for Rios. Maybell Martinez from the corner. A heat check falls into the hands of Valenzuela. Ramirez, Ramos. Valenzuela loves this spot. Can't get it to drop. Delgado ahead of everybody. They couldn't find her as Valenzuela tracking back to grab the board. Hot hits for 3. She can't get it to fall. That's going to be last touch by Mexico.
That's the effort you want, though. They're not able to get the offensive rebound for this second time here, but they knock it out of bounds trying to. And I think that's the effort and the try, the effort, the heart, the hustle that the coaching staff wants to see, because before they would have just let that one go. They would have let Colombia get downhill as Rios has been doing. And now they're going to call a timeout now. Maybe a little bit to get a little bit of a breather, but also to regroup as they let Mexican offense really start to heat up.
Hay que atender la transición defensiva. En la transición defensiva no tengo que llegar con mi jugadora. Tengo que correr por el carril por donde estoy y voy indicando, estoy con esta, estoy con esta. Nos han llegado 2 veces con tiros solas porque las jugadoras no están ajustadas. Listo, hay que mantener el ritmo. Primero en lo que estamos. Cata, en la defensa con ella vamos a defender 4, push. ¿Para qué? Claro, porque cuando vos abrís, ella te juega el pop y te tira. Si le haces push y pasamos, vos siempre vas a estar encima de ella y no vas a dar lanzamiento. Vamos a seguir en directa y vamos por el lado suyo ahora. Mayra está en el otro lado, Manuela entra a la pelota. Enseguida terminando jugamos rombos, se sube el balón y ella es la que sale a recibir.
29-18 here with Colombia in front. 3:52 remaining here in the first half. Mexico trying to find their feet after a struggle in that first quarter. They're coming to sea level at least here in the second. Colombia trying to hold them down. It's Rios on the inbound. Let's see what they work with out of the timeout. Munoz back on the floor. She has the rock. Vente. Not going to shoot it from there, so they can give her space. Munoz using the Vente screen. Now in the lane. Rios with 5 to shoot. Rios at the nail. Step back. Can't get it to fall. And Ramos vacuums it in. Gallegos directing traffic. Now crossing over. Rios doing a good job of keeping her feet moving to stay in front of her. Gallegos' layup not there. And Caicedo will push back the other way. Rios. Gallegos doing a good job of fighting over the screen. Rios will take the 3 and drill it. Not much is going wrong right now for Colombia.
8 points for Manuela Rios so far. And I had said sometimes what she does doesn't end up on the box score. Today it is. Today it is. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists already as Jaquez puts it in. And that's what she does best too. I told you, she's gonna finish underneath. And it doesn't matter if there's 1 yellow jersey or 4 yellow jerseys. She's gonna find a way to get crafty down there.
Such a tough move. Rios bulldozing her way to the rim, but maybe a little too much as she gets called for the offensive foul. No basket.
Colombia doesn't want to let Mexico speed them up, and that's what Mexico's trying to do right now. With that effort that they have, they're getting right into the hips, really starting to put pressure on the Colombian offense, and they're speeding them up into shots that aren't what Colombia wants to take. It's what Mexico's trying to make them do.
Here's Jaquez. She'll tee up a 3. Knew she missed it, tried to follow it, but Ramos has her back. Ramos draws 2 and missed. Jaquez on this side of the floor open. Speaking of open, Lara all the way to the rim, but missed the layup.
It's the look you want, and it came off of an offensive rebound. Mexico has to continue to crash those offensive boards.
It's been that kind of night so far from Mexico. Vente. Gonzalez at the nail. Munoz. Can't get that to drop. Push back the other way. For Mexico is Jaquez inside. She gets hacked and she'll go to the line.
She's so smart. Such so basketball IQ. Stops with 2 feet, and we actually saw that in the warm-ups. A lot of her layups in the layup line, she's stopping with 2 feet and even using the pump fake that you see right there during the warm-ups. It's something that she practices, and I don't think if she goes up just a regular layup off 1 foot, she gets that foul call. It's the fact that she waited, got the defender off their feet, and then goes back up with it that she's going to get rewarded at the charity stripe.
She's so crafty, does a great job of finding herself at the line, knows when to get there, and that's a mark of a great scorer. This past season in the NCAA with UCLA averaged 9.6 points per game and just under 5.5 boards on a very talented team that was #1 in the country for part of the year. Most people expected them to make the Final Four and win it all. And she's going to come back better than ever next season.
Yeah, experience at the international stage it'll grow your game ×3 just in these 2 weeks.
Caicedo for 3 was blocked by Ramos. Gallegos calling for it, gets it. And good transition defense that time by Colombia. Gallegos using the Lara screen. Turns the corner, draws 2. Keeps her dribble alive. And it is stolen by Caicedo. She is such a tough defender.
She is kind of always there. Wherever the ball is, she's always there. So pesky, gets in the passing lane there. Not even, you know, the person that she was guarding. She's over in the help there, and she's the one to get into the passing lane. And you see the effort there as she tries to get the ball and keep it alive, or get it alive, going back the other way for Colombia.
Timeout on the floor. Colombia leads 42-21 here with under a minute to play in the half.
No sé si es porque estaba ella o por qué. Mabel, Carolina, Jennifer, Daniela y Julie. Paso. Vengo a recibir y miro este 2-1 cortico. Y miremos si esta es la que está rotando. Mabel, si esta es la que está rotando, entonces te vas a seguir acá. Si no hay el 2-1, bien. Cambio la pelota, paso y en el juego del alto-bajo. Escúcheme. Bajamos rápido. Si puedo hacer el 2-1 para coger el tiro rápido y que nos quede la última posesión, lo vamos a jugar. Si no, nos gastamos los 24 de nosotros. Si encontramos el tiro de una, lo tomamos.
42 seconds remaining here in this first half. Mexico walking back on the floor. It's the emotions you see, the sights and sounds here at the FIBA AmeriCup. Both these teams so passionate, playing for their country in a meaningful game here in Group B. It's the first of two Group B games. Later on, we'll see Team USA take on Puerto Rico. Mexico, however, in this one, trying to stay undefeated. Colombia just trying to get their first win.
Something that sticks out to me just during that timeout as Lopez drives is the assist numbers. Colombia done such a good job at sharing the rock. 12 assists they've got right now compared to Mexico's only 3.
Jaquez on the push. Ramirez for 3. Can't get it to go. Jaquez is underneath in rebounding position, but couldn't stop the 3 other yellow jerseys that converged on her. Shot clock unplugged here as Lopez hands to the red-hot Maybell Martinez. Munoz spinning it away from the defense. Finds Paz. Lopez has time to get it off. Was partially blocked by Lara on its way to the rim. Lopez was expecting a foul to be called, and the official said, no, ma'am, that will not happen. 42-21 your score. Colombia takes the halftime lead.
And it has been all Colombia in that first half. You saw a little bit of fight from Mexico there in the second half of the second quarter, but things are just going Mexico's way, or Colombia's way right now, excuse me. 43% from the field, a whopping 72% from the three-point line. A lot of that has to do with Martinez, who's 3 for 4 from deep so far in this one. And it just, you saw a little bit of Mexico's fight. You saw a glimpse of it. But I know that this timeout right now, or not timeout, the halftime regroup, the huddle, it's going to be a lot of what we've seen in their timeouts. Not a whole lot of X's and O's. It's going to be coach saying, let's go.
Yeah, energy and effort is going to be needed there. The best plays from the second quarter are all yours. We'll be back with more here from the FIBA Women's AmeriCup.
This isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength
and drive. Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot. Earned.
Taken. Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat,
Ruled by queens.
When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
Hit that time, did a good job of staying in front. Chagas, good spin there by Garna. She's able to get the teardrop to fall. Wallen, so much youth on the floor for Canada. Wallen getting to the rim. Everyone that stepped into the game for Canada has now scored. Sweeping through on Gonzalez. Lubicic rejected by Valenzuela.
Reynoso will take another look at this one. Reynoso comes from behind. A beautiful block. Crosses Smith, finds the lane. Van Sluten is there to say absolutely not.
Now turns the corner, using her speed. Top layup by Dave Wilson. Threw it over the top of her head and found an angle.
They've got to be very crafty in their opportunities, and that's about as crafty as it gets.
Rios, what a play off the back of the defender. The USA, I don't think will play her like that anymore. You got to face that. Miles behind the back. Wow, the no-look pass into Van Sluten. The crowd likes that one. That was pretty.
I was waiting for that, for Olivia Miles to start kind of getting downhill with that crafty pass, and pause right now. Just saw her down on the floor with the bag, looking a little winded.
Hawkins driving, spinning, a whirling dervish of a shot that puts the crowd on mute.
Hawkins spun the opposite way than what she shot. That is an impressive finish. Being guarded closely by Escobar, comes off the screen, puts it up from three. That's a way to end the quarter, Amy. Confidence.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international world.
Moments away from the start of the second half. Colombia with a big lead over Mexico, 42-21. And a surprise to many, as Mexico looked great yesterday in their debut against Chile. But tonight they've struggled from the field and have found themselves in this hole, Kels.
Yeah, Mexico, just 6 for 33 to start this one off, 18% from the field. But we had a glimpse into the timeout of Mexico, and not necessarily an X's and O's thing, more of an effort. Let's wake up and get going with energy and heart. And a couple of things stick out to me when we look over on the Colombia side. 12 assists on 16 field goals, very much playing as a unit, playing as a team. And I talk about the chemistry of this core, the core of the squad, who has played so many years together. And this is really where it shines through, really playing as a team and as a unit. And then one other thing, points off turnovers. Colombia has scored 8 points off of the turnovers, off of 5 turnovers from Mexico. So really making the most of Team Mexico's mistakes here. And Mexico's got to clean it up, or Colombia could run away with it.
Some of the Colombian fans have made the trip here to Santiago, Chile. And they've been impressed with the performance through the first 20 minutes. But we've seen some big comebacks here at the AmeriCup, but also Eurobasket, which completed just yesterday with Belgium winning it all. And an automatic bid to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. That's what's at stake here at the AmeriCup. Let's listen in to the Mexican huddle.
Let's communicate, okay? For us, first play of the game is going to be nails. So Hazel's throwing it into Alexa right there. We're going to hand it right back to her. You're up there. And then you either have just a layup, okay? A dump here, or we're setting the hammer. You got it? Here we go.
So Mexico wanting to start the first half, Carlin, with an easy bucket. You see this QR code in the corner of your screen there? Scan that QR code for me to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. You can see all the games of the FIBA Women's AmeriCup here in Santiago, Chile. You get to listen to me and Carlin and Amy.
And Amy as well.
All week long.
Broadcast partner, Amy Audibert.
Yeah, I think the first offensive possession for Mexico, they're going to look to get something easy. You go for a high percentage shot. You try and get something to get the confidence going so that Team Mexico can see the ball through the hoop. And hopefully that starts something for them. But of course, it all starts on the defensive end.
And that's where they'll start to start this second half. Colombia with the basketball and the big lead. They played great through the first 20. Now they got to complete it. Paz down low. Can't get it to go. Gets her own and never touched the rim. Mexican bench asking for a travel. Meanwhile, it's Rios for 3. That's off the mark. Gets her own rebound, and this time a fresh 14, and she banks it off of Jaques. And that's the energy and effort you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Colombia, I am so happy with the effort I see from my team. If I'm Mexico, 2 offensive rebounds in the first possession out of the gate. No way I'd be content with what I just saw from the Mexican defense.
Munoz draws 2, somehow makes it out. Rios is left wide open. She didn't take the 3. Instead, she drives and finds a basket.
Rios is so tough, so tough. 10 points for her tonight. And she's definitely, like I said, the spark plug, the energizer of this team, and she gets it done. Small but mighty, for sure. She's played all over professionally South America. Went over to Europe, too. And, hey, that's exactly what Coach drew up. So maybe this is a start for something for Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico getting a layup there by Gonzalez and a wide open look. So a good set play ran there. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. They get the steal now. Can they string a couple possessions together? Gonzalez in the open floor. Ramos for 3. Can't get it to drop. And Munoz will push the other way. Munoz on the float. Got it off window.
What a finish for Munoz. 14.5 points she's averaging so far in this tournament tonight. a really good start for her. 5 points now, 2 for 8 from the field, but kind of a unconventional finish there, but I liked it.
Jaquez inside with the sky hook, can't get it to drop. Followed her own, last touch by Paz. It's going to stay here. Good job with Jaquez sticking with it. And quickly we get Valenzuela into the game as you take a look at this last replay of Jaquez's hustle. A fan of either team would argue either way where that ball went off of. The official decided to go with Mexico as Ramos can't drop the midi. Colombia has led by as many as 24 in this game. They're up 23 right now. As Paz on the block. Gives Colombia the largest lead of the game.
Hard to defend that, and I said that was one of the matchups that I really like between Paz and Valenzuela. They're going to go at it the entire game. It's going to be a battle of 2 really talented and skilled bigs.
Ramos working on Mabel Martinez. Martinez strips her, and Rios picks it up. Rios quickly back the other way. Gonzalez. Inside, they go to Paz. And she goes to work again, but couldn't scoop it home that time.
Mexico got to do something to try and get Valenzuela get going.
Here she is on the rock. Attacking the rim. Good block there by Paz, and then a foul by Jaquez as she grabbed Gonzalez. Well, you called for it, Kels. Get Valenzuela the ball. She attacked the rim, but Paz rejects her.
Yeah, what I want to see is she drove to the basket, but didn't really like get into her defender. I want to see her kind of pull a Gabriela Jaquez, land with 2 feet, use a little pump fake, get your defender up, go up strong to the basket rather than away from it.
Especially with the 2 bigs inside, Gonzalez and Paz. Gonna have to be a little bit more crafty to get shots over them. Here's Paz on the other side. Valenzuela defending well there. And she clears to Jaquez. Jaquez. There's Ramos. Valenzuela will screen for her. And then step out and take the 3. And it's in and out. Last touch, they say, by Colombia. Will stay here with 14 on the shot clock for Mexico to work with.
Mexico just looks tired right now. You can see Ramos there clapping, getting her teammates like, let's go, let's get this energy. Their second wind hasn't hit yet, and we're, almost midway through the 3rd.
A drive and a finish that time by Guanas. Her first basket of the game. Mabel Martinez caught fire in the first half. Takes a tough look. Can't get it to drop, and Jaquez will vacuum it in. Those are the type of defensive possessions that Mexico needs. They can string it together a run here. Can try and chip away at this lead and make it manageable before heading into the 4th. The foul is going to be called there on Vente. And that will bring Moscarella off the bench and back into the game. Jeffries will also check in for Mexico. So the big 3 on the floor for Mexico in Jeffries, Jaquez, and Valenzuela. Ramirez triggering this inbound. Tough pass to get it inside to Jaquez, and it's going to go the other way.
Just really tough physical defense you're seeing from Colombia right now. And I know we're seeing a lot of mental errors from Mexico, but a lot of that starts with the physicality of Colombia. They're playing really tough. And sometimes it's even hard to think to get into what you want to get into on offense when the defense is so far up on you.
Munoz kicks it out to Rios. Rios using a Vente screen here. She'll tee up a 3. That's off. And Jeffries grabs a rebound, but away from the basketball is a foul on Jaquez.
You know, I've talked about it with you, Carlin, how I hate a foul 94 feet from the basket. I don't mind this one. I want to see some fight from this Mexican team. And as although she's one of the youngest, also one of the leaders of this team, I'm okay with Gabriela Jaques taking a foul like that.
Munoz blows the layup. Moscarella on the tip, couldn't get it. And Jeffries will pull it down. Ramirez skips it this side. It's Gonzalez with the jab and go. Jeffries weaving through traffic, rejected inside by Gonzalez. Still able to keep possession. Jaques has it with 5 to shoot. Jaques trying to get in her bag. Gonna have to put it up. Jeffries is blocked by Moscarella. Great defense by Colombia.
That's the suffocating defense I'm talking about. You see 4 yellow jerseys when the ball hits the deck, leads to the fast break, and just like that, a wide open three-pointer for the 17-year-old for Colombia.
Moscarella turns defense into offense and drills the triple. Gonzalez trying to respond. A 3 of her own.
It's exactly what Mexico needs. You run through your play, you find it. They're not forcing anything with that one. You get the open look. Now they just need to string together some stops.
Rios on the rim run, can't get it to drop. Jeffries runs right into Moscarella, and Moscarella can't believe she was called for the foul. Shot clock will reset back to 24 because they did not cross the timeline, so we'll give them a full look of the shot clock as the foul happened in the backcourt. Here's Ramirez. Jeffries crossing over. Good defense there by Gonzalez. Jeffries with a series of moves. Anissa Jeffries tap dancing her way to the 10.
Look, great defense by the 2 bigs of Colombia. Better offense by Anissa Jeffries.
That was a river dance. Lopez, Devente. Rios with 5 to shoot. Rios attacking the rim and slapped out of bounds there by Valenzuela. 0.9 seconds to shoot for Colombia here. Did I date myself with that Riverdance reference?
Yes.
Point taken. On your screen, Moscarella nursing that knee injury after being banged into on that last foul call. We'll have to keep an eye on her. This side, it's Anissa Jeffries attacking. Jeffries again. The footwork, count it, and the foul. That's a bad girl out there.
And that's the type of play that will ignite this Mexican team. Incredible finish. You see, she wanted that one. She knew it went in. And this is one of the matchups I said I was excited to watch. It was the first Valenzuela versus Paz, but it's also Anissa Jeffries going at either Vente or Gonzalez on the other side, whoever's guarding her. A really fun matchup we're going to be able to see for her. Right now, she's winning the matchup.
Again, we saw Moscarella being tended to with that apparent knee injury. So she's out of the game right now. Valenzuela was able to tie the ball up and keep possession for Mexico off the missed free throw. So it's Mexico basketball and a fresh 14 for them. Martinez, Healy. Valenzuela will tee up the 3. Off the mark. It goes to Ramirez, who tried to save it, but threw it out of bounds. Carolina Lopez crosses the timeline, met by Hill. Hands it off to Munoz. Jeffries a little too aggressive, pushing Gonzalez to the floor, and the foul is going to be on her. That's a 13th foul here for Mexico in this quarter.
Just her first personal, though, and again, when you've got fouls to play with, it's the effort that I want to see from the Mexicans, and Anissa Jeffries does just that. You can tell that her and Gonzalez are going to go head-to-head this whole game. So if it happens to be out here on the inbound, it happens to be. But I think that's going to translate to a good battle down low.
Jeffries able to corral that rebound and push the other way. She has great pace to her game. Wants it back on the block now. 3 defenders converge on her, and it's going to be a jump ball. And Colombia's basketball. Possession arrow in their favor.
Coach now telling Anissa Jeffries that once you get 3 defenders down there, look for your teammates out on the perimeter.
Yeah, there was a bunch of open red jerseys. Jeffries just couldn't find them quick enough.
She also brought the ball down a little bit, and there's a lot of really pesky defenders on Colombia that just swarmed her, and I don't even know if she could have tried to pass it out.
Yeah, there's a learning curve there with her young age. She'll get there. But a small mistake that time. Gonzalez teeing up the 3, Jeffries with the rebound. We've said Jeffries' name a lot here in this 3rd period. She's going to use a Valenzuela handoff. Martinez. Crossing over. Kicks, it's Jeffries in the corner with a good up fake, attacking the rim. Another and one for Jeffries.
She is so tough. I want to take a look at that take again. Yeah, same strong move against 2 bigs down low. Able to finish, nothing fancy, just a left-handed layup. She goes up strong, takes the contact, and is able to put it in. 10 points for her on the night, could make it 11 here at the charity stripe. This has been the Anissa Jeffries quarter.
It has. And she converts on a 3-point play. And trying to chip away at this lead for Colombia. Lopez uses the Vente screen at the foul line, drills the jump shot.
Every time it feels like Mexico's starting to climb back in it, Colombia comes right back and responds with a bucket of their own.
Ramirez for 3. Off the back iron. Valenzuela able to get the offensive rebound, can't get it to drop. Delgado will push the other way, one-on-one with Heel. That's great defense by Heel, coming up with the strip. Valenzuela. Ramirez is open again. She jabs and goes. Nice bounce pass into Valenzuela. She couldn't finish the up and under. It's been a tough night for Valenzuela after having an incredible performance against Chile in her first game. Struggling from the field right now. She'd love to see a couple go through the hoop. Valentina Lopez with the floater.
Just like that, Colombia, their offense is so loose right now with a 20-point lead. Really patient basketball, looking for great shots, and they find it with that floater down the middle.
Jeffries sprays it to the corner. The 3 on the way by Martinez not there. Martinez going to get another chance. This time she goes inside. Valenzuela draws 2, fighting her way through traffic. Can't get it to drop. And Lopez comes away with it. 2 Lopez's on the floor right now for Colombia. Carolina, number 8 with the basketball. And Valentina, number 21. Shot clock unplugged. This is Carolina Lopez. Tried to find Valentina. And it's a turnover. Ramirez gets it right before the horn. And that's how we'll end the 3rd quarter.
We saw some fight from the Mexican team this quarter, but we saw a whole lot of responses from Colombia as well. 55-37. It feels like it was a lot of Mexico, but Colombia staying strong on offense and defense.
Take a look at the 3rd quarter stats as they pop up on your screen right now. Shooting percentage in favor of Colombia all the way, and those 3-pointers have been backbreakers, Kels.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Martinez started it off for Colombia with those 3 in the first half, and it just seems like everything's falling for them ever since. And on the opposing end, Mexico just can't catch a break when it comes from the perimeter. So you take a look here at Rios, so crafty. We didn't see a lot of her in the 3rd quarter. But they also haven't needed her. Give the girl a rest. She got some games to play.
It is a condensed group play. You only really get the 1 day off. Colombia has not had it yet. They played 2 straight days here at the AmeriCup against 2 tough teams and taking 2 tough losses, but trying to gut out a very tough win here in their 3rd game against a game Mexico squad. And right now they're 10 minutes away from doing that. This is a game where you kind of want to put in the loop if you're Colombia.
Colombia had 22 points coming from their bench. And everyone really contributing. They had a whole lot of bench points in their first game, but a lot of those came from Venezuela. Now 11 points from Jeffries. Oh, I'm sorry, Colombia 22. They're really evenly scoring. They got a player who has 10, 3 other players who have 9 points. So, like I said, just really playing like a team. I had mentioned their assists. They got 14 assists on 22 field goals. They really look like a squad who's been playing together for a super long time. And that's exactly what they are. A core who's been together for, you know, just under a decade and lots of international events. And the Mexicans now, such a good showing against Chile in their first game, but they just look a little, I don't know if it's tired.
Can be young. This is a team that has an average age of 24. And right now, you're sort of seeing it, the way they started this basketball game, and even the 3rd quarter, a little slow to get going, but plenty of time left on the clock, and an opportunity for them to have some sort of a comeback, if not some sort of momentum going in to their next matchup, which will be against Puerto Rico. But first, business to take care of here. Hawkins with the quick trigger, can't get it to drop as we saw it the 4th quarter. Jeffries with the offensive rebound. Colombia sitting in the zone. Jeffries at the net. Hawkins with 3 to shoot. She'll pull from mid-range and drill it.
If I'm Gabriela Hawkins, I am frothing at the mouth looking at Colombia sit back in a zone. This is something that she is so good at breaking. Because she's so crafty getting to the basket, she has that for her, but she's also a phenomenal shooter. So if the ball can be moved around a lot for Mexico, it's going to get her open, it's going to get Anissa Jeffries open, it's going to get Ramirez open. I'm happy if I'm Mexico. They just need to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, she's been struggling from the field, though. And you know at some point, law of average is going to work out in her favor. She was just 1 of 8. Rios with a phenomenal look to find the rolling Paz, and Paz's foul.
Paz has been so strong in today's game. 6 points, 5 rebounds. She's got the size advantage right now against Anissa Jeffries, and I think we're going to see Colombia try and feed her down low a lot until Valenzuela gets back into this game.
Joleani Paz just turned 25 years old just last month, June 20th. Or this month, I should say. I'm almost living in the future.
Don't wish your days away.
I will not, especially not here in Chile. It's beautiful.
Look, before the game and at halftime, Paz was sitting there practicing free throws for almost an hour before the game. She splits the pair there. But I'm sure if Mexico continues to foul her down low, she's going to want to make these ones. She spent a whole lot of time before the last game as well, before anyone was even out here practicing those free throws.
A frustrating night so far for Gabriela Hawkins as she commits her 2nd turnover, stepping out of bounds there. Munoz. Inside, here's Paz. Bumping with Jeffries and able to kiss it off the window.
She's so strong. Give her 9 points on the night, and I like that she's able to use her physicality, use her body to her advantage.
Rios with the theft and the lay. All Colombia right now as they pour it on here in the 4th.
Colombia did not come to play. Up 21 points over a strong Mexican team. I want to hear what, I would love to be able to hear what coach has to say to her team right now. We've been able to get into 2 of these right now, and it's just her willing her team to play. And you're right, it's a young squad. They're so talented. It just, nothing is going their way.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
And you had games like that where you almost feel like everything is against you. And right now, if if you're a Mexican supporter, you're thinking what more can go wrong here with 8:44 remaining in this contest.
There is some positives, of course. In that first quarter, we saw in the timeout the Mexican coach saying, let's crash those O boards. Right now, they are out-rebounding Colombia on the O boards, 14-9. Able to look at those second chance opportunities. They got 9 second chance points. It's just not a lot else is favored to their way. 11 turnovers right now for this Mexican team.
Sometimes you look at a team that has been struggling from the field the way that Mexico has, and you say to yourself, what could they be doing better? And sometimes it's just a simple fact that Colombia, a team like them, are taking away everything that could be going right for them. So you got to credit Colombia's defense, and the way that they came out tonight has been terrific to give them this 21-point advantage.
I used the word suffocating earlier, and I think I would use that again now. It's every time Mexico's able to get to the key, there's 5 yellow jerseys surrounding them. The ball is on the floor and they're going for the jump ball. Again, there's 5 yellow jerseys piled on top. And yeah, credit to Colombia. Their defense has been so tough.
Here's another example of that is Paz standing in the way of a Ramos drive. Laura missed the bunny and Rios corrals. Paz will take a 3 off the mark. Unorthodox shot, but it made it to the rim. Jaquez, a little hesitation on that 3-point shot. Yesterday that was going up. She was feeling it. Ramirez on the jab. Using the Laura screen. Rolling as Laura. Finishing as Laura. Can't get it to go, but she was fouled. It's going to be called on Paz. The first team foul for Colombia here in this period. And it will send Laura to the line. Exiting the game there was Carla Martinez. Claudia Ramos also leaving the game. Meanwhile, Miriam Lara will toe the line. A program stalwart with the national team, has been with the program since 2013. This is her 13th event at the senior national team level.
Yeah, she participated in the last FIBA AmeriCup, averaging just under 4.5 points per game and a little over 3.5 rebounds. Really nice addition to come in off the bench and give some of the starters a breather, because there's not really a dip in talent in production. So I really like the addition that she brings to this Mexican team.
Full court pressure
She also
there.
always has a smile on her face. I don't know if you noticed.
I haven't noticed it, but now I'll look for it. 13 in red. You can follow along at home. So there's a turnover. Mexico extending their defense, and they have the rock back. Here's the smiling Laura. Shows the up fake. Dribbling inside. Can't get the lay. Great defense once again by Paz. Rios being hounded by Jeffries and Ramirez. Rios finds Paz on the rim run, but can't get it to drop. Jaquez will push the other way. She has numbers. Euro is Jaquez. Got hammered, no call. Jeffries there to corral the ball, and look at her. Ball on the string. As an and one mixtape move for Paz. Dating myself again as Ramirez drills the 3. Mexico stringing some possessions together now to get themselves back into this one.
And again, that all starts with the offensive rebound by Anissa Jeffries. It has been the second half of Anissa Jeffries right now, already with a double-double in this one. Still 7 minutes left to go, but she gets the offensive rebound, has incredible movement down low, but also the basketball IQ and vision to see her teammate wide open up top.
Mexico extending their defense once again. Paz will have the easy layup.
Yeah, Lara kind of had to make a decision there. She made the business decision to stop the ball, but it left Paz wide open. No one else got back on D.
Jaquez forces one up. Lara underneath. Not smiling now as 2 defenders around her. And she's fouled.
I'm sure she's happy she got the call. Look, a smile.
Another smile. Crack the half smile, we'll call that. Still some time here for Mexico to get it to a manageable advantage. Ramirez will take the 3 and make it.
Another three-pointer for Mexico. Nothing is over in this game. Still a whole lot of time to play. Colombia got to stay focused here.
Jeffries poking at the basketball. Rios trying to blow by her. Paz in the lane, got away with the walk, and then gave it up. Gonzalez has it. Gonzalez attacking the 10. She was stripped, was able to get it back. Jeffries crossing over. Laura at the nail. Spinning in the lane, falling away, too strong. Munoz wants to slow it down. Under 6 to play in this game. Colombia up 62-46. Lopez walks into a triple. That's off, and Jaquez will vacuum it in. Gabriela Jaquez crossing over, attacking the rim, can't get it to go. Wanted the foul call. She's going to peel herself off the deck and run back on deep. Maybell Martinez will tee up for 3. Off the mark, and it falls right in the hands of Lopez. Sometimes everything just goes right for you, and it's happening tonight for Colombia.
Colombia looks so strong on offense. Their defense right now fueling that offense. Every time they look to get a, or every time they get a stop on the defensive end, they look to run, and it's working for them. Transition points, 17 fast break points out of their 64 points. Impressive for Colombia. On the other end, Mexico, while Colombia's in transition, only 2 people or 3-ish get past that half-court line waiting for the timeout to be called. It's those little things. It's the effort right now for Mexico, but hey, I'm not even gonna let that one be an excuse. Colombia has come to play. They look so strong and so poised. Look, they finished 5th in the last 3 AmeriCups, Carlin, so they're returning with that same core like I've been saying, and you can tell those first 2 losses they took to heart, and they don't want to leave less than how they finished in the last couple. Like they want to improve, if nothing else, and this is a statement game for them tonight.
No question about it. And it's going to make Group B so interesting down the stretch in the last couple of days of group play. Colombia losing to Puerto Rico by just 3 points, lost to Team USA. They'll have Chile on their schedule remaining, and then they'll have 2 days off before the knockout stage, because their day off comes before everyone's day off on the 3rd. So they'll get everything out of the way and then be able to sit and watch to see where they land. If they can take care of business right now, that puts themselves in a great position.
And of course, we continue to talk about point differential and how important that is with standings too. So it's another reason you're not going to see Colombia let up at all. What I don't like to see is the tears in the eyes here as she talks to the trainers, because she's such an important, Mascarella, excuse me, such an important piece to this Colombian team as she sits off on the sideline.
Yeah, the 17-year-old took a knock to the knee, and not a great look for her return in this game at least. We'll have to keep a log to the FIBA AmeriCup site to find out whether or not she'll continue to play here in this tournament. Rios at the foul line, her jump shot not there, and Paz with a flat-footed rebound. Gives them a fresh 14, under 5 to play now in this game. Paz drawing 3 defenders, forces one up, and Valenzuela got a block that's going the other way.
That's the matchup I said I liked. So, hey, if Colombia wants to keep feeding her, I'm going to be happy to keep watching. Valenzuela got away with the block on that one, and now she's going to have the chance to do some damage on the offensive end.
She's been quiet here in this half. But getting an assist there as Ramirez going right to the 10. No one stopped the basketball that time. Caicedo, look at the speed for her. Weaving through traffic and gets fouled. She is a blur. There is a look on Mascarella's face, the 17-year-old phenom here for Colombia. Struggling with that left knee.
Yeah, this makes me sad to see.
Break your heart, regardless of what team you cheer for. Such a fun watch so far through these first couple of games here in Santiago. I hope she's okay. Paz throws it in and misses the free throw line jumper. 4:20 in the game. And now if you're Mexico, you're starting to think about point differential. They were plus 17 coming into this game. Meanwhile, Colombia was minus 40
Paz takes a seat on the bench. If I'm Mexico right now, I'm looking for Valenzuela down low.
Yeah, you pounded it inside. Venti guarding her right now.
Hey, Venti, a great defender. Not a knock at her at all, but when we saw Valenzuela, well, that's a big three, but when we saw Valenzuela go up against a smaller Chile team, she really thrived down low against a smaller defender. So when you have a smaller defender on right now, I'd feed her.
Hill just knocked down that three and then tracked down that rebound to push ahead to Ramirez. Hill wants it again. She turns the corner. Hill right to the rim, then kicks it back out. Valenzuela. Jeffries calling for it. Good post position by Jeffries. That's a tough cover down low.
Hey, if Valenzuela's not going to do it, get Jeffries down low with the smaller Muñez on her. I like the read. I like the fact that they were able to identify the mismatch and get it down low. And I mean, hey, we said it. We've been talking about Anissa Jeffries a lot in this second half because she has been the heart and soul of this Mexican team in the second half.
With 3:34 remaining, this game is not over yet. As Mexico getting it to a manageable amount. Here you see the game leaders, Rios, Munoz, and Paz in the way in points, assists, and rebounds. This is exactly what Mexico wanted, Kels. They got it within range now and plenty of time on the clock.
Oh, it's a game. It is a game now. It was, you know, it went from 25 to 20 to 15, and before you know, you blink, and it's a winnable game still for Mexico if they're able to pull it together. And like I said, Colombia has played so strong. It would be a heartbreaker for them to lose this one, but definitely in range for Team Mexico.
Mexico trailed by as many as 26 points in this one, and they've never led. And it's been a wire-to-wire lead for Colombia thus far. Timeout situation. Mexico with one more timeout remaining in the game. Colombia with all three of theirs. That's important. If there is a challengeable play, you do need to have a timeout to be able to do that. Manuela Rios stuffing the stat sheet right now with 12 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds, and so many more plays that really don't show up on the stat sheet.
I like that she's back in the game. Like I said, a pro all over South America, all over Europe, and really just lights up the offense for Team Colombia, but also such a pesky defender.
Here she is on the rock, trying to eat some clock here for Colombia. Venti will screen for her. She rejects it. Tried to go off the window. Gallegos is into the game now with the rebound. Ramirez. Two-man game with her and Valenzuela. Ramirez probing behind the screen. Valenzuela got the switch she wanted. Now attacking the rim, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Look, that's a good foul by Colombia because when she has a smaller defender, like I was saying, so lethal while she's in the key. So, I mean, you're going to make her earn it here at the charity stripe because the help defense just didn't get down in time, a little bit late on that rotation.
First appearance at the night for Valenzuela at the line. Her team is just shooting 57% from the free throw line this evening as she cashes in on the first attempt. And you always say, Kels, stop the clock and score when you're down. And this is what's happening right now for Mexico. They get it within 10.
That's a way to do it. The clock's not ticking down, so, you know, you're not wasting any time. She puts 2 baskets, 2 points on the board. Should add to her 5 points of the night.
A foul in the backcourt. It's all right for Mexico because they have some to give. It's only the 3rd team foul here in the 4th.
Yeah, they got to start putting some pressure on. It's not time to panic yet, but it's time to start pressuring the ball. Look for some turnovers. Well, that's not what you want.
Gallegos with her first foul. Caicedo had it slapped out of her hands by Jeffries. 18 on the clock for Colombia to play with. Gonzalez will check back in for Colombia. Venti will leave. Caicedo will trigger this inbound. Got Carolina Lopez wants the screen from Gonzalez, uses it and turns the corner, ripped by Jeffries. Gallegos, watched by Caicedo, sees the lane open, tried to blow by Caicedo, but Caicedo did a great job of moving her feet up until then. 11 turnovers for Mexico, 10 for Colombia. You feel the nervousness now building in this gym as Mexico finally within striking distance, a 9-point basketball game. Ramirez has it. She'll tee up the 2, left it short. And Caicedo, smallest player on the floor right now, gobbles up that rebound.
Maybe the smallest, but also one of the feistiest players. So good at ripping down rebounds. So good at just kind of tipping the ball, always kind of being there in those hustle and heart plays.
Jeffries moving her feet well that time defensively. There's 5 to shoot. Caicedo with the floater. Can't get it to drop. Ramirez tapped it up. Gonzalez underneath. They kick it back out. Munoz slows it down and finds Lopez, who stands on the logo. Lopez using the Gonzalez screen. Caicedo attacking the rim, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Look, that second chance started with her down low. She puts it up, misses it, but is able to tip it out to her teammate, and eventually gets it right back.
Fouled maybe 3 or 4 times on that drive.
Just the bigger bodies down low as she's able to get to the rim. Really strong take. It's actually her first point of the night, but it feels like she's made a big impact in the game, even without scoring.
Playing in the Brazilian league as a pro, averaging 15.2 points per game, and you see how small she is, just under 7 boards per contest. Missed the second of those 2 free throws. Time running out now for Mexico, down 10. 90 seconds remaining in the game. It's here. Caicedo fouls her. And both teams now in the penalty, so we'll be shooting the rest of the way.
Look, I know she won't get credit, and we're saying it's a quiet night for Valenzuela. Didn't touch the ball in that possession, but still the impact she makes by holding her defender behind her while Heel drives down the middle. Gets that lane open for her. So although maybe a quiet night offensively, she does those little things that does create opportunity for her teammates, and one of the reasons that we have Heel at the line right now.
Mexico leaving some points at the line. Are shooting 61% at the free throw line after that make. Gabriela Jaquez, who was watching this comeback from the bench, now back into the game. A steal on the inbound. Jeffries has it, draws 2. Gallegos couldn't handle the pass. She draws 2. Bounces it. Valenzuela to the rim. Timeout, Colombia.
That's the team basketball you want to see if you're watching, cheering for Mexico. You got the big 3 back out, and it starts with that steal, and everyone looking out for each other. Two yellow jerseys collapse on one red, and red looking out to find the open person. Now, if you're Colombia, you got to lock in. 1:15. You've had the lead this entire game. And I said they had lost a heartbreaker earlier in this tournament, another heartbreaker. I don't know, it wouldn't sit well with me. I'm not cheering for anyone, but.
It would be a tough one to swallow if you're Colombia. That heartbreaker Kelsey's referencing is a loss to Puerto Rico in their first game here in Santiago. And lost that one 68-65, a 3-point loss. And many people leaving the gym saying that should have been Colombia's game.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to a missed foul shot and a rebound that they could have had. Like right at the buzzer. And so Colombia's been in this position before, even in this tournament. They've been in a tight game where it could have been theirs. And so hopefully they learn from that experience, you know, and play until that last buzzer goes. They got 1:15 to go. They felt that heartbreak before. They know what it feels like and don't want to experience it again.
So the last Valenzuela basket, Coach Cuenca calling timeout right there Both teams with just one timeout remaining here in the game. A minute 15 remaining. A double-double for Anissa Jeffries, 13 points, 10 boards. And by the way, she comes off the bench for this team.
Yeah, it's so funny. Two of the big three come off the bench with Anissa Jeffries and Valenzuela. Both been so integral to this team's success in this tournament so far, in the first game as well as this game, as there's another timeout called over with Colombia.
So Colombia using their final timeout here with a minute 15 remaining. You wonder if that's an opportunity to get some rest.
Yeah, I also kind of like how they let Mexico come out. I think they wanted to see maybe if Mexico was going to set up in a zone, or if Mexico, you know, what they had planned to come back. Although I don't even know if they talked to them. They just kind of chilled on the sidelines. Maybe they just needed a little bit more rest. It's an interesting strategy for sure, but they've got their starters out here all kind of just waiting to see what Mexico does as Mexico timidly comes back out onto the court here.
So there's still about 13 seconds remaining in this timeout. And a minute 15 remaining in this basketball game. Maybelle Martinez, 9 points, caught fire from 3 in the first half. She's been quiet here in the second. You got to keep an eye on her. She's hit some big shots in her career before. Rios will inbound. She's on the floor with Gonzalez, Martinez, Munoz, and Lopez. Munoz comes to the ball. Gael's all over Rios. They almost trap her in a dead area. The foul is going to be called on Heel, and that will send Gonzalez to the line for 2.
Mexico showing the urgency that you want to see. The trap right off the bat, and just kind of got caught on that second trap a little late on the rotation to control that second possession by Colombia. Gonzalez so strong with the ball, able to maintain the possession, but it looks like they're going to ask for a review of that foul call. This is a fun ending to a game.
It is. A lot of drama here right now in Santiago, Chile. So Colombia asking for the review. Officials will discuss it, and I believe the review will be whether or not that was an unsportsmanlike foul. So we'll hear from the officials. We'll eavesdrop on the conversation.
It goes challenge, right? Yellow team. It's possible upgrade and formalize foul. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Quédense dentro de la cancha.
Okay, initial decision was personal foul. We are going to review, upgrade, and formalize foul. Go, please. Okay, good. Okay. You have another camera? Okay, I see the red team try to play the basketball. Yes. Normal play.
Normal foul.
Normal foul, right?
Normal foul.
Normal foul.
Okay.
The contact, so meet criteria only personal foul. Okay? After the review, personal foul.
19 is our shooter. 19 has 2 shots.
Shot.
Boxer
Yellow, 19 shots. All right, 2 shots. Come on.
109. Perfect.
Super.
Perfect.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, after the review, unsuccessful, kick out challenge, personal foul, 2 shots, yellow, 19.
Carlin, this is one of my favorite parts of the broadcast. Getting to see all the angles that the ref sees, getting to see the conversation, getting to see how they agree on a call. What a cool aspect.
It's a great aspect that we have here with FIBA Media. We appreciate the officials for wearing the mic and allowing us to eavesdrop in on those conversations, some of them so important, including that one right there. A good foul there for Mexico as they send Gonzalez to the line, and she blows the first free throw. 1:09 remaining in this game. Gonzalez misses both. Anissa Jeffries with the rebound. Ramirez attacking. Heel for three. Too strong. Jaquez with the rebound, forcing her way in. It's an offensive foul.
She did such a good job boxing out Rios there. Got her right on her back to get the offensive glass, but just dropped her shoulder a little bit too much to go up strong.
Fourth foul for Gabriela Jaquez. And now they'll have to defend under a minute to play.
Oh.
Almost a turnover. Rios able to escape danger. Mexico have to foul here. And they foul Gonzalez. And that will send her back to the line after she just missed 2 free throws.
Yeah, look, a smart foul here as well. They're waiting to get it into the hands of someone they know hasn't been great from the free throw line. That was her first trip to the line that we saw in that last possession. Of course, went 0 for 2. So, of course, if you're Mexico, you're looking for that same result here from Gonzalez.
0 for 3 now for Gonzalez. Colombia as a team just shooting 44% from the foul line before that take. They've led the entire way as Gonzalez converts on the second. Mexico will take their final timeout with 47.6 seconds to go in this one.
Looks like Quesado is also going to check in for Rios over there for Colombia. It's almost like you're gonna have one really pesky defender who can score come in for another super pesky defender who can score. So just a pair of fresh legs there for Colombia.
And someone also that can make free throws. Important in this game. An 8-point advantage right now for Colombia as they try to hang on here in this thriller. And Mexico trying to draw up something to be able to get themselves a basket and do it quickly. Clock not their friend right now. Shooting percentages are right on your screen right there. Colombia has enjoyed the advantage of the three-point line. 9 threes in the game, shooting 47% from the land beyond. Well, Colombia has lost to Puerto Rico in heartbreaking fashion. They got blown out by Team USA. This is their 3rd game here in Santiago. And their opportunity for a win is hanging in the balance right now. Mexico defeated Chile in their 1st game. This is their 2nd here in Group B. And what a comeback this would be if they're able to complete it. It'll be Ramirez, Heel, Valenzuela, Jeffries, and Jaquez on the floor for Mexico. Ramirez will trigger the inbound. Heel comes to the basketball. They get it to her. Ramirez has it, watched by Caicedo. Ramirez crossing over. Heel wants it. Attacking the goal on Munoz. Munoz did a good job of not fouling. Offensive rebound. Valenzuela has to put it up quickly. She's trying to. Finally fights it up. Hangs on the rim. It doesn't get there. And Gabby Jaquez fouls out of the game with the offensive foul.
That's just a tough break for Jaquez there. Just looking. I mean, these last 2 offensive fouls have just been her effort. Really, that first one trying to go back up after the offensive rebound. The second one, again, going for the offensive rebound. You can't knock her for the effort in these last 2 fouls. Just really, really tough break as she takes a seat on the bench. Yeah, absolutely frustrating for her. She ends the game with 8 points, 10 rebounds, and yeah, 5 personal fouls.
Struggled from the field, just 2 of 12 from the floor. A game that she would love to forget. Meanwhile, Munoz hits the first free throw to extend the lead to 9. Double-digit advantage now for Colombia. Gallegos into the game. Blocked by Gonzalez. It's going to stay here. 24.3 on the clock. And now Mexico has to start thinking about point differential. You see Gonzalez, excuse me, that's Rios getting a cramp worked out, it looks like, on her right leg.
That block by Gonzalez, she has been so great in today's game. And we talk a lot about these players who do so much good stuff that doesn't show up on the box score. 4 points, 5 rebounds, but such an impact.
War of attrition right now for Colombia, as you see Rios being worked on, and Moscarella, who took a knock earlier, sitting on the bench right now. Martinez driving, kissing it off the window. Strong rebound by Gonzalez, and Caicedo's going to be fouled with 15.2, and Colombia now could feel it and taste it. Potentially their first win here at the AmeriCup. Caicedo will toe the line, a pretty good free throw shooter in her own right.
She split a pair of free throws earlier in the game.
And that might have been my fault for talking her up before taking the first. She'll look to split a player here at the line. Makes the second. Aiello pushing the other way. Jeffries in the lane, spinning. Jeffries, left-hand finish. 9-point advantage for Colombia. And Munoz gets fouled with 1.6, so a chance for Colombia to add to this total here. And try to reduce some of the deficit that they were able to accumulate in the first 2 games. In the point differential department, they came in here on a -40. And Munoz gets it back to a double-digit advantage.
100% from the free throw line for Munoz today. And of course, the most important free throws come at the end of this game, and she nails them both.
Nothing but nylon. Aiello, good if it goes. It's the front of the rim, and that's how we end this one. Well, Colombia had to hold on tight late in the game, but they were able to walk away with a double-digit win, 71-60 over Mexico.
And Colombia dominated from start to finish in this one. The first quarter, all Colombia, a little bit of fight back from Mexico in that third, but if you're a fan of Colombia, if you're watching right now, you got to be proud of every aspect of this game. The Colombian team, you can see, just dominated in almost every category here. A whopping 47% from the three-point line. And look, didn't let those first 2 losses in this tournament keep them down. They're all smiles right now as they get their first win of the tournament. But really, really impressive turnout here. And I'm going down all the stats, Carlin, and almost won in every single category, even in a what ended up being a tight game. You got to be impressed with this Colombian squad.
Rios pass, and Munoz led the way, scoring more eyes. But Maybell Martinez knocking down those 3 triples in the first half really blew this game open and allowed them to lead from the start to finish. And all smiles for Maybell Martinez. And Mexico, who walks off the court now 1-1 here in the tournament, will be left wondering what could have been. The victory photo, we love to see it as Colombia fired up. Caicedo popping her jersey, letting everyone know they're alive here in Santiago. One more game remaining here in Santiago on match day number 3. It is Team USA taking on Puerto Rico. As you see, some of the Mexican players signing autographs for the fans here in Chile. That's been one of the great things to see, is that these women have spent time with the fans, especially the young ones, whether it's taking selfies or making sure they get their autograph. That's been fantastic. If you're wondering at home, no, Kelsey and I have not signed anything. Well, maybe Kelsey has. I haven't.
My hand is cramping.
Figures. No one's asked me for my selfie or autographs. No one cares about that, but we do care about these highlights. And all Colombia, as they take their first win here in Santiago, Chile, and an 11-point win, so it's an important win to reduce some of that point differential. They came in with a -40, so +11 for them in this game could help them out with seeding really kind of matters here in pool play. Their next game, Colombia, will come against Chile, and that will be an opportunity not only for a win, but an opportunity to try to extend that point differential.
Yeah, Colombia came in here and took over. 10 players scored, 10 players rebounded. Everyone with multiple rebounds. The assists, 17 assists on 26 field goals. We talk about the chemistry between the core of this team, and it really showed today against a really strong Mexican team that just couldn't get to their spots, couldn't get anything done. And credit goes to Colombia because their defense stayed locked in for a full 40 minutes, despite the push from Mexico late in this one.
The road gets tougher now for Mexico as they're through 2 games. And they now will take on Puerto Rico and Team USA on the final day of pool play, needing another victory to maybe make the road to the podium a little easier for them. Group B updated standings, 2 wins for Team USA. They lead with 4 points. Colombia finally get on the board. They're sitting in second for the time being with a 71-60 victory. For Kelsey Wright-Johnson, I am Carlin Gay. We'll see you shortly as Team USA will take on Puerto Rico. So long from Santiago.